Welcome to Internet Stories, where I try to find some entertaining stories to tell the internet. If you like any of the stories, please like the video so others can find it, and subscribe for future entertaining stories. Today I will be reading a few stories from the subreddit. Today I beeped up. TIFU by flooding a 7-Eleven with cherry Slurpee. This happened to me as a little kid, maybe 6 or 7 years old. I was in a 7-Eleven one day after soccer practice with my mom and my brother. It was the middle of summer, hot as hell. So like any little kid, I would head straight to the slurping machines, ready to take my big gulp to slurp town. I approached the machine, pulled what I thought was a dispenser, only to unleash a ghastly rapid flow of cherry slush onto the floor of the 7-Eleven until it covered nearly half the store. Like there was a steady stream of Slurpee just pouring from a spout in the machine with no end in sight. After staring in disbelief for a brief 5 seconds and processing the monstrous, unfathomable mess I had just made, the store clerk glares at me with quite literally the most what, how, why, the what look, and just says, "Please leave. Greatest F up, greatest accomplishment, you decide." Wow. That was a fun little story that a little kid got to go through. He made a mess, no consequences. TIFU by trying to have a barbecue, resulting in the first responders of every kind and an extreme good news, bad news situation. I want to preface by saying this story takes place in the 70s, in a college town in New Jersey, and that was a different time. So back when I was a senior in college in the 70s, some friends and I decided to do some grilling at their place. It's important to note, my friends rented the second floor apartment in a house some young guy in grad school owned. He was pretty chill. He lived on the first floor, and we'd all hang out sometimes. But this one particular day, he was away for the weekend. My friends had a grill on their back porch, and it was a beautiful Sunday afternoon. So we thought, why not have an impromptu day grilling barbecue? One snag in the plan, we didn't have any charcoal for the charcoal grill. Here is the main fuck up. Back in the 70s in Jersey, they had blue laws, which meant on Sundays you couldn't buy certain things from the store if they were deemed unnecessary or would lead to work. Since Sunday is the Lord's Day and separation of church and state was more of a suggestion back then. So grocery stores would either be closed or have entire sections roped off on that day. Buying more charcoal wasn't possible, and we weren't ones to patiently wait until the next day. So being extremely arrogant college students, we decided to try to light wood and paper for the fire and use what we had on hand to get the fire really going, which was lighter fluid. I want to reiterate, we were extremely arrogant. Do not do this. One of my friends was in charge of lighting the grill while the rest of us were inside prepping the food. All of a sudden, we see a huge fireball through the window and we hear a god-awful screaming. We rush outside and he is on fire along with half the porch. Apparently he spilled some lighter fluid without realizing it when he lit the grill. A flame jumped and it lit up the whole trail of lighter fluid, including what he had unknowingly spilled on his leg. One guy rushes out to put him out, just whacking him with the jacket he had been wearing and had ripped off to smother the flames. The only person in the situation to keep his cool, because the rest of us were panicking. Eventually the guy is no longer on fire, but he's badly hurt, and we can't get the porch fire to die. We call 911 and they send over firefighters and an ambulance. The firefighters manage to put out the fire, but the porch is damaged and our injured friend gets taken to the hospital. He was eventually okay, but only after a year of rehab, and his leg was never the same. I'll feel guilty for the rest of my life, but he was an amazing guy and never blamed us for our collective poor decision making. That's not where the story ends. One of our friends came over after all the hubbub because we had invited him to the barbecue, but this was pre-cell phone days. We weren't able to call him and let him know the barbecue is most definitely put on hold. He finds us out back on a half-burnt porch and is shocked by the scene. We tell him what happened, and he says, "Yeah, I knew something must have gone down when I saw the broken glass on the driveway out front." Hold up. There shouldn't have been any broken glass. All of this happened out back, and there was no glass there to break. So we go to the front of the house to investigate. And it turns out the landlord's first floor apartment had been broken into. So we call 911 again. This time the cops come to investigate. We let them into the landlord's apartment so we can tell them if we think anything has been taken. Since the landlord is away, we're doing a cursory look, and it really doesn't seem like anything has gone missing. The cops tell us they think the burglar was probably scared away by the sirens from the fire truck and ambulance and quickly broke out of the house via the window in his panic. Huh? Some good may have come from this. We stopped a burglary, and then we move on to the kitchen. And sitting back smack dab in the middle of the table is very plain sight is a huge bag of the landlord's weed. We look at the cops. They look at us. We turn our backs to the table, wait a few seconds. We turn around, and the weed is gone. We do not ask questions. Well, we're done here, kids. They tell us. Ask your landlord to call us if he comes here and finds anything missing. They leave. So this one afternoon, kicked off by a single stupid decision, led to the most awkward phone call in history of mankind to the landlord. Bad news. The cops have your pot. Good news. They think it could have been the robbers. Because bad news, your house got broken into. Good news, he was scared off by the sirens. Because bad news, we set the porch and Jimmy on fire. Good news, Jimmy's gonna live. Let's focus on the good news, Doug. My friends did not get their security deposit back. They did, however, give the landlord a plethora of their own weed to make amends. TIFU by exposing myself to the Amazon delivery driver. So, as you all know, Amazon deliveries are all slightly delayed at the moment. I've been waiting for 3 weeks for an Amazon delivery, which finally came yesterday. I received a notification yesterday morning saying that the package was out for delivery, and I should expect the parcel between 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. Great! Due to the current circumstance, I'm working at home, which means I would be in all day and able to receive the parcel. Shortly after receiving the notification saying that the parcel was out for delivery, I thought it was wise to have a shower to get that out of the way so that I was ready should the parcel come. Oh, how wrong I was. Around halfway through my shower, I heard the doorbell go. Knowing fine well that the parcel needed to be signed for, I knew he couldn't leave it anywhere, so I hopped out of the shower, still with the shampoo in my hair, grabbed the towel, and darted downstairs. Upon opening the door, I noticed the driver had left a "Sorry, we missed you" note, but I was just pulling up down the street to deliver a parcel to the neighbor. I saw this as a perfect opportunity and ran down the street in just my towel, shampoo still in my hair. I grabbed his attention as I approached. He recognized me from previous deliveries, laughed, and went into the back of the van for my package. Then, this is what happened. He handed me the parcel and then handed me the stylus for his tablet to sign for the parcel. Forgetting that I was using my right hand to hold my towel, it had come loose while running down the street. I grabbed the stylus and went to sign my name. At this moment, the towel fell to the floor, exposing my completely naked body to the Amazon driver and a few people in the street that morning. He didn't know where to look. immediately turning to pretend there was stuff he needed to do in the van. I sheepishly handed him the stylus while holding the parcel to hide my embarrassment. I picked up my towel and ran, embarrassingly, back to the safety of my own home. I think and hope Steve, the Amazon driver, will be requesting a different route from now on. I'm not sure I'll ever be able to order anything from Amazon ever again. Wow, I'm sure it was a very exciting day for both of you. That's all for today. Thanks for tuning in. Please leave comments below.